A warm welcome to Tech Talks by Her, Rise Up Tech Women, Inspiring Ninja Women's Journey into the Tech World virtual seminar. Today, we gather to celebrate the remarkable strides that women are making in the world of technology and to draw inspiration from their journeys. It is with great pride and excitement that I stand before you as the founder of Young Women Code, an initiative deeply rooted in the pursuit of bridging the gender gap in the tech realm. The inception of Young Women Code was born from a simple observation: the stark gender disparities within the tech industry. As I delved into the world of technology at a young age, I couldn't help but notice the underrepresentation of women in this dynamic field. This realization was the catalyst that spurred me into action. I firmly believe that talent knows no gender and potential for greatness resides within all of us, irrespective of who we are. Our mission transcends the boundaries of gender, breaking free from the conventional norms that have confined women in the past. We firmly hold the conviction that language of code is universal, a language that speaks without prejudice, discrimination, or bias. Through Young Women Code, we aim to empower young women in the rise above limitations. We aim to empower young women to rise above their limitations, embrace their passion for technology, and script their own narratives of success. Today's virtual seminar stands as a testament to our commitment that reflects our unwavering dedication to amplify the voices and experiences of women who have conquered the tech world, serving as a beam of inspiration for countless others. We understand that coming together, even in a virtual realm, holds the power to foster connections, spark ideas, and ignite change. This seminar is a testament to to our unyielding belief that empowerment is contagious, and by sharing our stories, we fuel the flames of passion and determination. As we embark on this enlightening journey, I invite you all to immerse yourselves in the narratives of women who have risen above challenges and dared to reshape the tech landscape. Their stories are a testament to the boundless potential that resides within every individual. Together, let us celebrate their triumphs, draw strength from their experiences, and unite in our shared goal of a more inclusive and diverse tech world. Thank you for joining us in this extraordinary endeavor. Let us, without unwavering, let us with unwavering determination rise as a community of empowered individuals, inspiring Niger women to boldly step into the world of technology and script their own stories of success. Welcome to the Tech Talks by Her seminar. Let your journey begin.
Right. Thank you so much, Debbie, for those insightful words. Hi, everybody. I am Tano, and I'm your host for this event. Now, let's acquaint ourselves with the phenomenal women who are at the forefront of the tech landscape. They've paved the way, broken barriers, and transformed the industry. Each speaker brings a unique perspective, and their journeys will undoubtedly keep us inspired to embrace the tech world. Now, allow me to present our esteemed guest speakers, whom brings a wealth of experiences, insights, and inspirations to our event. Our first speaker is Pearl Umutuibo, who is empowering through marketing. Pearl Umutuibo is a dedicated marketing professional with a passion for fostering business growth. Pearl's journey began in legal tech startups, where she discovered the potential of digital marketing to reach wider audiences. Her expertise in crafting personalized marketing strategies have driven remarkable outcomes for the companies she's collaborated with. Today, Pearl is the co-founder of Startup Launch Code, a growth agency supporting early-stage startups. Please help me welcome Pearl. Thank you so much for being with us today. Hi, Pearl.
Hi, can you see me and hear me?
Thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you.
All right.
All right. So our next speaker is Ekene Udumiz. Ekene Udumizwe is a dynamic and accomplished project manager, boasting an impressive track record within tech startups. Her expertise spans roles as diverse as machine learning project manager, business development project manager, and more. During her 5-year tenure at Hugo, beyond her corporate prowess, Ekene is a dedicated advocate for social change, funding the Eden Generation Helping initiative to uplift vulnerable children. Her multifaceted journey embodies professional excellence and transformative social impact. Welcome, Ekene. Thank you so much for joining us today. Okay, I don't believe she's available, but I can see Chisom is here. Okay, so let me introduce Chisom, the tech queen. Chisom Woku, fondly called the tech queen, is a software engineer at Microsoft, contributing to the sustainability team. Her data engineering skills and commitment to sustainability drive her impactful work. Chisom is the author of A Techie's Guide into Big Tech Companies, a roadmap to success in international tech firms. Through her YouTube channel, she shares her passion for tech and empowers others to excel. Please help me welcome Chisom. Thank you so much for making time to join us today.
Yeah, sorry, I was on mute. Oh my god, I can see myself. Good
Welcome,
afternoon,
Chisom. Thank you so
everybody.
much for joining us.
You're welcome.
All right. So, thank you, esteemed audiences, for joining us. Now, without further ado, it's an honor to introduce our first speaker. Her journey through the tech landscape is nothing short of awe-inspiring, a testament to her dedication and achievements in the industry. Please give a warm welcome to Pearl as she steps up to share her remarkable journey with us. Pearl, the stage is yours.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. When you were introducing, I was kind of like, what are they talking about exactly? Anyways, hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. So just to give a little insight into my tech journey, I think it is one of accidents, really. I would say that. And um, only in hindsight do you actually see, like, oh, this really was your tech journey, and this is what the journey was. So I started way back when, if I say when, I'll expose my age, but I started a while back, and it was really, like I said, by accident. A group of friends and I came together, and um, along with a mentor or some mentors, we kind of decided we had started to realize the power of the internet and the power of digital tools and the power of technology and how technology was able to change industries and create impact in industries. And just um, based on different things, we it was the legal industry that we're looking to revolutionize with tech, which is a very tough industry to get started in. And so fast forward back then, I wouldn't have said, I mean, I'm working in a legal tech startup, nothing. It was just, oh, there's this technology and it can really make an impact in this industry and make work easier, make access to resources easier. And so that pretty much was where it started, starting that company way back when. And the journey has been really, really interesting. So starting out there and having to one failed startup, having to relaunch a failed product, um, and going back into the marketplace and really just learning about people, about marketing, about business. Because one thing I forgot to say is that this was all while I was in university. I had just started university. And so this coincided with like my first year in university. And yeah, so this tech startup coincided with my first year in university. And so it was my first rodeo in anything business, anything marketing, but it was a great experience because it taught me about number one, work ethic. It taught me about business. It taught me about um, what it really takes, self-discipline, entrepreneurship, and all of that. And yeah, so that was how I got started. And then fast forward a few years, um, one of the things we started out, like I said, was a legal tech startup, and we started out in terms of like going door to door, old school tactics, meeting people, doing presentations, telling them this is what we have. Every day we would go load up in a bus, go to different law firms, and just trying to sell this product, right? And then we kind of figured like there has to be an easier way, right? And the internet, Facebook was picking up then. I think Facebook ads had just launched or something like that. Again, very long time ago. And so we kind of thought about, and I think it was a mentor of us was like, you should really look at using the internet to reach more people. And I think that was just where I just got hooked because um I realized the power of one to many. I realized the power of using technology to pass on a message to so many people rather than like door to door. And that is really just where I sunk right in and started like learning everything I could. I became like obsessed and I low key have obsessive tendencies when I'm really focused on something. And so I really just started, and based on that, I was at the time working on the tech team with the software companies, the legal tech startup. I was working on the actual software, but then I began to shift into marketing. And from there, we started learning a lot about marketing. So we started to host marketing events. We had about four of them in for business owners just to share how they could leverage the internet, and then we training people how to do it, and then we um, started an agency, and then just in general to help people leverage the internet to grow their businesses. But when we started that agency, one of our first clients, the first one of the first gigs we got when we actually said start an agency was to help our clients um, cover an event called the African FinTech Festival. And that really was my introduction into what we know today as like the tech industry. This was about 4 years ago, give or take, 4 or 5 years ago, and there was like an African. And so I remember going there really just with marketing in mind. And but I remember like hearing the speakers, seeing a lot of people, seeing so many products, and just being introduced into the world of fintech, first of all, and then that really introduced me to the startup community that we have today as of back then. And it just really reignited like, oh, there's a whole world out there. And I began to like learn about the industry, exactly how it should be, not like by accident. Began to learn about the industry, and in learning, applying what I knew to help, like how do we help startups grow, and interacting more and more with startup founders. And yeah, that pretty much is an introduction to my journey. I hope I said it well, but yeah, that pretty much is an introduction to my journey. A bit here and there, but yeah.
Woman who has made her mark in the tech industry. Chisom, please can you share your unique journey with us? Yeah, I can
Please
see
confirm
you.
that you can see me. Okay. Oh, nice. Hi everybody. My name is Chisom. I am a software engineer. I'm a couple of things actually. I'm a software engineer first. I am also a YouTuber. I love creating content to show people all about my life as a software engineer, as someone, a girl in her 20s, navigating her career, also to teach people about what it means to be in the tech industry and what's obtainable there. And I am also an author. So sorry, the wind is so much. I'm also an author. I published a book titled A Techie's Guide to Big Tech Companies. And that book is like a roadmap to assist people to know how to land international tech jobs, or not just international tech jobs, to assist people to learn how to scale their tech career, how to look for jobs, how to position themselves well for interviews, and also how to negotiate their salaries. So I think that's all about Chisom in a nutshell. Chisom is also a very good cook. I love cooking. I love making things in the kitchen, and I'm a lover of classical music as well.
The diversity of experiences in the tech industry is truly something to celebrate. That Ikene has joined us. Okay, so let me give you Ikene's bio. So, our second speaker, we have Ikene Dumeswe. She is a project management extraordinaire. Ekene Dumeswe is a dynamic and accomplished project manager, boasting an impressive track record within tech startups. Her expertise spans roles as diverse as machine learning project manager, business development program manager, and more. During her 5-year tenure at Hugo, beyond her corporate prowess, Ekene is a dedicated advocate for social change, founding the Eden Generation Helping Initiative to uplift vulnerable children. Her multifaceted journey embodies professional excellence and transformative social impact. Welcome, Ekene. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hello, hi, good afternoon. I think apologies for joining late. It feels so good to be here. Just here to support Young Women Code and also show women that we can do more. So just like very
Exactly.
briefly, very briefly, you've already introduced and said everything. I'm not sure what else I want to say, but my tech journey is one of those that you say that I got in by mistake, if that's ever a word. But it has been one that has been very interesting. I didn't start out as a techie. I actually started as a mass communication graduate from Redeemers University. So imagine going from doing mass communication to struggling to figure out, oh, what are JSON files or what is HTML? What's all of that? But yeah, that's been my journey. One very interesting. Started off or kicked off as a data uploader. Like we just used to do like random boarding data, and we would do that. And that then Hugo then grew to being like a data annotation machine learning company, grew up to be a team lead. So like I've done the whole 9 yards. Started off like I said as an agent, grew up to like quality analyst, grew up to like team lead, now to like project management in machine learning. And imagine somebody that's coming from a background where we just speak in radio to now saying, oh, excuse me, we're going to send you the JSON file in 2 days. Oh, like what machine learning tool are you used to? So it has been one that's been very interesting that I'm happy to also share with everyone here. And one thing I like to tell people is, look, you can do it. You can do more. If a mass communication graduate that all she knows how to do is basically speak English can grow to start understanding small codes, but managing big teams that will write these codes that would also do like data annotation, and that's like back end the human level of machine learning. You can do it too. So I think that's basically introduction of me.
Thank you so much. As we move forward, let's dive into an interactive question and answer session where I'll be asking questions and our distinguished speakers will provide insights directly from their experiences. So let's get started. Okay, so for Pearl, as a co founder of a startup in the tech industry, You've played a crucial role in shaping the marketing strategies for your company. Pearl, could you share some of the innovative ways in which you've leveraged digital marketing to create a strong brand presence and drive growth for Startup Launch Code?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Okay. So, Startup Launch Code is a growth agency that provides growth support for early stage startups. And so, yeah, in my role, I in charge of really just creating marketing strategies for our clients. And I do get a lot of questions in terms of like, what is that thing we can do in marketing, especially digital marketing? What is that hack? And one thing I always like to say is marketing is marketing. And that's something I learned pretty early on in my career in terms of digital is just a channel, and it's more important to understand the problems that you are solving in the market, who you are solving it for, the gap, and the need. So, very early on in my marketing journey, I came across the three pillars of marketing, this concept of the three pillars of marketing, and I think it really just helps everyone. So there are three pillars to marketing. The first is the market, the second is the message, and the third is the media. And in order to properly market any product, any service, innovatively, strategically, effectively, you need to have these three pillars strong and understand them properly. So the first is the market, and the market is who is it that you're selling to. You need to be very clear on who that person is. The message, you need to be clear on what it is that your product does for them. What is that solution? And only when you understand the market and the message that the media comes into play. And the media is what channel are you using to pass it across? What channel are you using to pass across the message to your market, right? And so I find many people like, oh, digital marketing, what's that hack that we can use? But it's more important to understand the message and the market, and then the media just depends. So um, technology is ever changing, and with technology, different channels for communicating to your message changes. So before it used to be TV, radio, newspaper, all of that. But then the advent of the internet brought in a lot of other channels that we can use. So now you have your website, you have social media, you have search engines, you have forums, you have rooms. So, but underlying first is understanding that more important than the channel that you use is the message and the market. Now, in terms of innovative ways, I think in today, in working with Startup Launch Code and in working with our clients, the most innovative ways I think that I've found, the most things that we need to be innovative in, and the most innovative ways I think that and I've found that work is number one, creative. Creative is everything. And number two is storytelling, learning the art of storytelling and being able to communicate the problem solution in a story is one of the most effective and innovative ways that have worked for us and for our clients. And more than anything, I learned this as well early on. The hack that everybody is looking for is consistency. Consistency. So find what works and do it consistently over time, and you'll get the results that you want. So I hope that kind of answers your question.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pearl. Hi, Ikene.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, so I have a question for you. So,
Okay.
as both a successful project manager and a passionate advocate for social change, your story is truly inspiring. So, how do you see the intersection of technology and social impact shaping the future of Nigeria's tech landscape? And what advice do you give to women aspiring to make a meaningful difference through technology?
Okay, so there are a few things that I have seen in my very short tenure that I know that would help, or I see that this is where we need to start from. So there's something I always used to say that I'm here to make sure that everyone is represented, starting with women. And it's something that I always used to say on my LinkedIn and everywhere. Like, look, I'm here to make sure that everyone is represented, starting with women, especially Black women. So there is something that I had seen recently, FITC, Financial Times, they had said, no, Financial Institution Times in Nigeria, that body in Nigeria. So they had said something about in the STEM world, they in Nigeria, they're only 22% of women. And it's always a shocker to me to see that, like, what's happening. But then, even when you walk into universities, like, for example, Unilag that's here, and you go into the engineering department, you see very few women.
Mhm.
And even the women you see there are not on heels. Everybody's on sneakers. Everybody's like, cha 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 cha. And you can almost tell why. And that's because somehow in our lives or in everything, we've been channeled to believe that this world is for men. So women can't, women shouldn't. Come on, let's talk about even Ali and Simbi. Ali and Simbi, as to how we were even trained. Ali and Simbi, to the point that Simbi was helping her mom in the kitchen and Ali was playing football and all of that. So there's just this mindset that has been embedded in the heads of women that only men can do this. And if if a child has grown from like a child, like from childhood to adulthood, and you want to now start to tell adult, like, look, no, you can do more. That even staying in the kitchen is science. It's There's a science and art to cooking, and that's where social impact has to come in, because a friend of mine did a course recently, and it was paid for, and it was supposed to be like a STEM course for women. We had more men show up than women. And I'm like, no. So how do we want to start thinking about how to drive this message? And that's why I'm very appreciative for people like um, Tech in Heels, and also Young Women Code. That's just like pushing that messaging to women that you should do this. You can do
Understood.
this. This is absolutely what you should do. Because again, if you leave it to tradition, what I like to call tradition, like traditional ways of sending out messages, it just might not get to them, or they just might not do it. So if we have more NGOs, I have my own NGO, and I've also partnered with a lot of NGOs that have now focused on getting her to speak, getting her to do the work, getting her to believe that she can do this. Because again, it is a mindset thing. And for you to reorient mindset, a lot of people will pay for stuff that they know about versus pay for stuff that they don't know. So there are two versions of people that will pay for anything. First of all, I already know about this and I want to learn more, or oh, I'm just curious enough to want to find out. But I want to find those people that don't even know about this, and I want to tell them that's possible. Like, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. It is rocket science, but it's not rocket science the way we want to think about it. And you don't literally have to burn your head. You don't have to lose out on everything. You can integrate. You can figure out how to write that code and still make sure that at the end of the day, you excel at your career. So as for what I do, being project manager, owning my NGO, also partner with NGOs, for me is to drive the social impact, drive the social message that women should and can do this. So my advice for anybody that's trying to do this is, look, forget about the fact that you're a woman, because again, there are a lot of things that they'll say would hinder you as a woman to do this. Because again, there are a lot of things we didn't do as children, but once you grow up, think about it, push yourself, go beyond. There's zero boundary to doing this. So we have NGOs, we that we have the voice, will continue to speak up and continue to say, look, we did this. You can do this. I'm a mass communication graduate. I did not go to school doing engineering. So why do you think you can do it?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Chisom, for those inspiring words. Thank you so much, AD. So I have a question for Pearl. So startups often have limited resources, requiring creative approaches to achieve maximum impact. Pearl, what are some effective digital marketing techniques or tools you've employed to reach your target audience and engage potential users? How do these strategies tie into the broader mission of empowering women in tech? I think, and your mic is muted, please.
All right, thanks. Hi, Tana. Sorry, I couldn't hear the question properly. Could you just read that question again?
Okay, for sure, no problem. So, startups often have limited resources, requiring creative approaches to achieve maximum impact. So, Pearl, what are some cost-effective digital marketing techniques or tools you've employed to reach your target audience and engage potential users? How do these strategies tie into the broader mission of empowering women in?
All right. Thanks so much for that. So I think the best advice I have is to start where you are. Go one step at a time and celebrate the wins. So I think what I mean by start where you are is there are different stages to the startups. You may just be starting out at idea phase. You may have launched and your goal is to get traction. You may have some traction. You want to just see how much you can grow, and you may have that growth and you're looking to scale and expand to different countries. So first of all, know exactly where it is that you are. So and then take it one step at a time. So you're just starting out. Your first point of duty, your first goal as you're just starting out is to make sure that you invalidate that idea that you have, that you make sure that is there proof of concept. And when you're at that stage, many startups at that stage, they don't have the budget, they don't have the runway to do that. And the advice is to do what is not scalable. So in terms of what digital skills they can use, like I said, digital is a channel, and the skills that you have outside of digital, like digital is just the channel that you're going to use. So the skills that you really need to use is number one, I would say get very good at storytelling, right? Um, get good at so by the time you are getting to that, I you have an idea and you want to test it out and proof of concept in the market. You need to be able to articulate, have your elevator pitch, and be able to articulate in 1 minute or less what it is that you sell, who you sell it to, and why you are the best solution to what is it that you sell, who you sell it to, what is the problem that you are solving, and why your solution is the best fitted to solve that problem for your market. And when you are able to articulate that, then your job is to how many people in my target audience can I say this to? Can I communicate this to? Now, again, just starting out and keep the very next goal in mind. Your goal is proof of concept. So what you want to do is your one market. Who in your one market has the problem that your solution is trying to fill, and are they willing to like try it out and use the product and give you feedback? Sometimes early on, you may have to just try out things. It depends on what it is that you sell. You may have to give people things for free in exchange for testimonials. You may need to reduce your prices just in terms of your aim is, I just need proof of concept. It's not monetization. It's not, I just want to see that there is a ready audience who uses this and it solves the problem that I am promising to solve. So number one, your warm market, utilize your warm market, cold contact. Social media is a social media makes almost anybody reachable, right? I think there's a phrase that, again, if I misquote it, but there's a phrase like everybody is not more than 3 to 4 connections away. There's nobody on the planet that you can't reach. And so leverage social media, reach out to people who you think, so these may not be people that you know personally, but these are people you know may know. And these are people you can just reach out to. Social media is all about like connecting with people. And you can actually like reach out to people to try out your stuff. Just like, oh, I'm doing this. This is the problem that I'm solving. Again, your elevator pitch very important. And would you be willing to try it out? Right. The third thing is organic social. Organic social is an act, right? You are up against the algorithm, as in the algorithm is stressful, but you're up against the algorithm. But if you can learn the art of social media and really don't focus on I'm here to sell a thing, really again with the storytelling, really find a way to communicate, find a creative way to present to your audience what it is that you have and show up consistently, that's going to get you a lot of traction and a lot of results. And the fourth thing, and I think also is the most important, is to build a personal brand and document your journey. People, I remember listening to someone one time, like, there are more people for you than are against you, and people are invested in other people's lives. We see this with the success of reality TV for some reason, or even YouTube. Like, we have all those people we follow on YouTube that we follow their lives religiously. I think they're paying us money. But people are invested in other people, and not because they wish them ill. They're really rooting for them. Most people, 95% of the population, is actually rooting for others, right? Even though they are silently rooting, they're rooting for you. And so when you are starting out, don't build in silence. If you can, build in public. Find a way to document your journey. I realize it's not for everyone. Not everyone wants to be out there, but this is one of the most powerful things you can do. You can build a personal brand and find a way to document your journey and tell your story. Oh, I built this. I realized that this is a space in the market, and we're trying to find solutions. And so we went through this process, and this is the solution. Or we just go one person. Oh, this is someone. Let me tell you a story about how we impacted this person. People love stories. People share stories. You get your message out there. You build a brand, and long term, the value for your brand, even when you pass that first, I'm trying to gain traction. I'm trying to gain proof of concept. I'm trying to gain traction space. That brand that you build and that community that you build at that time is going to be worth more to your brand than anything else. Seriously. So those are just some strategies that I think starting out can really help, right? But the bottom line is those are for like if you're at the beginning stages. And the thing about it is with what I've said, and just connecting it back to one part of your question, which is how it really connects to women, right? Ekene was talking about not enough women are in this space. And to be honest, especially with the aspect that I'm focused on, which is growth marketing, like I see so few women doing that. Not everybody can code. I believe Loki I could have been a coder if I wanted to, right? But not everybody codes. But you don't have to code to be in the tech industry, right? And if you want to play in tech, there's room for everybody. And I really resonate with what Ekene was saying because everything I've said has nothing to do with some high falutin skills. I talked about warm contact. Can you reach out? Can you do you like we all did English from primary school to secondary school? At least we all take it in my like right. All of us like can you talk to people? Can you type? Can you articulate? Can you articulate this is what I have or this is what someone else has and this is how it can help you? Can you learn how to use social media to tell a story? Can you help learn how to use YouTube, use TikTok? These are things that we already use on a personal basis, right? There's nothing like um, so difficult to learn that you can't do it, right? So in How We Connect, I'm like, there are so many ways that you can make an impact without um, listening to voices that say you can't. There are still ways skills that you already have that you can utilize, whether for yourself, for your own startup, or for someone else's, depending. So that's how I feel like there's so many. I feel like these are the ways that you can use if you are. These are the ways that you can use if you're just starting out. And as a young person looking to get into tech, young woman looking to get into tech, there are so many avenues that you can use to get in. So yeah, never say pass. That'll be it.
Oh, thank you so much, Pearl. Those words were extremely inspiring. Don't listen to voices that say you can't. You can do it. Okay. So my next question is for Akimi. So your role as the co-founder as Pouvoir, am I pronouncing that correctly? Pouvoir. Okay. So your role as the co-founder of Pouvoir demonstrates your commitment to innovation and empowering Nigerian in a rapidly evolving tech industry. How do you envision creating a supportive environment for women to thrive and contribute effectively, fostering a culture of inclusivity and growth?
Okay, so I have like a few pointers that I'm just going to mention.
Okay.
For me, first of all, mentorship and skill development. Like you cannot not mentor people. Again, goes to the point of like seeing that there are more young girls that rather go and do mass communication or do law or even do human resources, um but just mentoring them and letting them know like, look, this is also possible, like create workshops, training, what we're doing right here, push them to get to a point where they know that they can also do this. So like that's first step. Second step, flexible works policies. Now, I know that a lot of companies after COVID have started to try to like infuse this into their system such that people are able to do like hybrid work.
Hybrid. Yeah.
um, but also just understanding that look, a woman is human and she has her days. Even like everybody's human, everybody has their days. But just creating and fostering flexible work policies such that people don't have to feel like I need to kill myself to get this, because at the end of the day, for both of them to work, there needs to be some sort of harmony to your personal life and your professional life. I will still get it done. And I think that's something I've learned working with like the recent Gen Zs. They will still get the work done. Doesn't mean that they have to do it immediately that you have asked, but they will get it done. So like fostering flexible work policies will get women to like be more involved. Then one thing that I always say in my office, I think everybody has heard me say this: visibility. First of all, I don't know that people have people understand or people can follow through all the responsibilities that women have to shoulder or women have to balance. But if we all, as every men, women, whoever already sits in this space, stay active in like just showcasing the contributions of female team members, like through anywhere. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday that also works in the office, and she was telling me about two people that she wanted to celebrate in the office, and they're both female, and it excited me. I was like, oh, let's go on Slack, let's do this for them, let's go on LinkedIn, let's do this for them, let's go on Instagram. It wasn't hard for me to come up with all of that because when you think about it, you need to be able to, sorry, you need to be able to encourage. And so that's something else like I'm trying to do with Couvoir, even with, sorry, excuse me, even with like the things that I do, just to include people, just continue to create ways and avenues in which people can function. Because even if we want to think about it as just the woman stage, there's a lot, and think about it at the Nigerian youth stage, there's a lot because people are shouldering stuff. Nigeria is hard. So if you don't create policies that would help these people shine and thrive, then there's something wrong with the community. And then you also want to think about inclusive decision making, and that's something I try to do, especially just to understand it. And it's something I also have on LinkedIn where I said everybody has to be represented at the table, regardless of who you are, where you sit, what you do. So if as a company you are not, your target is not to make sure, is not to make sure that people are included, then there's a problem. Because you're making policies, you're making timelines in which cannot doesn't work for the other gender or doesn't work for the other person. So you're telling me that I have a mom in my office or a mom on my team that works with me, and I know that she does excellent work, but she has to pick up her baby at 2 p.m. What is so wrong with not with saying, oh look, we will not have this meeting at 2 p.m. We'll have it at 2:30 so that we can make sure she picks up her baby and she will work. She will get the work done. But just including people, building policies around knowing the what's the word, knowing how these people function. So if you don't include people, if you don't do inclusive decision making, the decisions will be so skewed that you don't foster inclusivity in your company or wherever it is that you are. And I think that it starts with even your personal life. Another thing that I'll say, networking and community building. Look, if you don't take anything from here, network. Don't tie yourself into somewhere that into a room. But also, one thing I always want to tell bosses or people that own companies, or even myself, is look, you have to also create the avenue for communities to be built. And I'm affiliated with a few brands. I think it's Her Economy. Her Economy is like trying to build people into like community. Like, look, women, we should do this. So at the end of the day, networking and community building is so important to trying to build, sorry, excuse me, try to build a place where and foster a culture of empowerment. Like you cannot not build communities. You cannot not find a way to help people feel like they're part of this. So start to thinking about organize. What I sometimes I try to do it. I organize like networking events, conferences, or I even try to go for some. But just knowing that this will help facilitate like knowledge sharing, collaboration, and at the end of the day, as women, one thing we need is a support system, support network. So, what this will do for you is that you build a network of people. You build a chain of powerful, strong women, powerful youths, and not lazy Nigerian youths, but people that are actually used to the system and people that can function in the system. And I think, like, for me, it's like no form of bias or discrimination. I always say that people need to feel safe. You cannot say, oh, because she's a woman, she cannot be here. Zero bias. Look. And another thing is like also women need to learn that look, nobody's going to say because you're a woman, well, this can happen. But be powerful enough that it's not said because you're a woman. Rather, I said, oh, Ekene is not in this meeting. We can't have it right now. Let's give her 5 minutes to join. Not, oh, Ekene is a woman. She can't come because she's having like no, like that shouldn't be a conversation. I should be assigned as my name, not my gender. So just building policies around making sure that there is zero bias, like no, like there is at no point is this saying that um oh this person is because of this person is because at the end of the day, if you do zero tolerance for bias, what you find is that you find a place where every gender feels safe, respected, empowered, and they will just do more. So even at Cover at my company, at Hugo where I work, and also like my NGO, for me at the end of the day, whatever it is that my commitment to like innovation to technology, it goes hand in hand, hand in glove, hand in everything with my passion for making sure that I'm creating an inclusive and supportive environment for women so that they don't just only thrive but they get to leadership. And not only them getting to leadership, they are actually thriving and leading in a world where it is said that women cannot lead in the tech industry. Women are represented. When you see anybody, any woman, and however you see her as a person, as a product, she's well represented and she has the power, she's empowered enough to actually thrive. Making sure that also like diversity and inclusivity will just drive this innovation of tech and bring more people and also elevate and expand the prowess of women anywhere inside and outside the tech hubs and tech communities. Yeah, so
Oh,
that's it.
awesome. That really touched me. That really touched me, Tini. Thank you so much for those impactful words. Create an environment to help the world, and especially women, thrive in the tech industry. That's extremely impactful. All right, so I want to direct my next question to Chisom. Hi, Chisom. Okay, so my question goes to you. So, being a female software developer in a predominantly male industry can come with its own set of challenges. Chisom, how have you managed to overcome any gender-related obstacles? And what advice do you have for other women who might be facing similar situations as they strive to establish themselves in the tech field?
See women that are currently in the tech space as assets. I see them as superstars because these are people that are daring to be different. These are people that are doing something very tenacious. So as a software engineer, I have people have a lot of stereotypes about women being software developers. I was um I was somewhere one day and someone reached out to me and asked me, what do I do? I told the person I'm in tech, and the person was like, oh, okay, probably you're a consultant or you're a PM. And I told the person, no, I'm an engineer. And the look the person gave me was maybe the company was pitying me before they hired me, or I don't know, but there was this certain stereotype the person had about me because I'm a lady. And I feel like that's what everybody has. People feel that women cannot be engineers, and to shock you to note that the person that actually wrote programming code for a launch, I can't remember the launch, I can't remember her name, I don't want to say something wrong on this call, was a lady. And during International Women's Day, we celebrate all these women that did beautiful things. So I would say that if you're a lady in the tech space and you find yourself in a technical field, I know a lot of women that are professional cybersecurity engineers. I know a lot of women that are doing big things in the DevOps industry and so many other places, right? So you're going to face these stereotypes. People are going to see you as not so technical. People are going to see you as someone that's not meant to be in that space because the space is male dominated, and this is a gap that we're all trying to close. So I would speak for myself that I'm a very confident person, and I feel like if I find myself in a space where I worked so hard to get here, you cannot tell me that I'm not meant to be there. You cannot make me feel less of myself. So as a lady, you're going to find yourself in rooms where there are so many guys and there are so many ideas flying around, and you're going to speak up, and people are going to feel like what you're saying is not so much as important of like what other guys are saying. This is something that's definitely going to happen. So I would say that you should build your confidence. People that are in this room now, the speakers as well, they got to where they are with hard work. Everybody works hard to be successful. So I would say confidence is one thing that has helped me, and I am very open about my wins. I heard the previous speaker talk about like documenting your story and everything. I'm very open about my wins. I am not trying to prove a point to people that, oh, I'm a lady in the tech space and I know what I'm doing. But I just want people to know that women can do amazing things. Women can do very powerful things. Women can push ideas into rooms, and those ideas are going to scale even more than what the guys would do. So it's something that's very prevalent. So I would say do something that boosts your confidence. Do things out of the ordinary. Don't be so shy, or don't be so laid back to talk in meeting rooms. I see some people and they're telling me, oh, I'm a girl, I'm the only girl on my team. When they are pushing ideas, I don't talk because I feel like what I know might not be, they might know more than me because I'm a girl, and all of that. It doesn't just make sense.
Yeah.
So dare to be different, push your ideas, and just be very vocal. I won't consider myself a loud person. I would say I'm a very good listener, but when it's time for me to shine in a space where I know that my knowledge can help people, I wouldn't shy away from that because I'm a lady in quotes. So use your superpower. And the thing is that I find it very attractive seeing women in the tech space. Like it's really, really attractive. It just automatically makes me get attracted to you. So use that as your superpower. Inspire other people, inspire other girls around you. Let them know that this thing is possible, and there is there is no barrier to anything. So like I said, there are so many organizations that are trying to fill in this gap. This is an organization like that, and I really love what you guys are doing. It's very encouraging for females as well, and we could all join our hands together, put our efforts together to make sure that not only the workplace is a safe space for women, but women should also see opportunities. Companies as well should also give people the opportunities to learn and to also grow their careers in the tech industry. Thank you.
And you should always speak boldly. That's your superpower. Like, I would like to direct my next question to Chisom. Chisom, hi. Okay. So your accomplishments at Microsoft and your nomination as a rising star are truly inspiring. Chisom, can you speak about the role of mentorship and community in your journey? How have these factors contributed to your growth? And how do you think they can empower more Nigerian women to join and thrive in the tech world?
Oh, okay, that's a very good question because I am someone that's a product of community. So
Mm,
I would start with my community in school. So while I was in school, GDG, Google Developers Group, but it's now called Developer Students Club. It was very prevalent in like tertiary institutions. And so we had like an innovation hub where I would go to learn how to code. So not like they were like teaching people how to code, but there were people that were actively coding in that space. And that was where my tech journey kind of like pivoted. So it was also in that hub that I found out about Women Tech Makers by Google, and it was at that same hub I found out about Microsoft Student Ambassadors. So I found myself in a space where there were so many developer communities. People would come to speak to us. I would connect with people that were doing the same things I was doing. And it was a very pivotal moment for my tech career because that's where I found the person that mentored me in Android development at that time when I was still doing Android development. And so the role of mentorship and community, I would say, is overly important. I would say that if you're in this digital age and you're confused, you're missing out on the power of communities. You're missing out on the power. I wouldn't really say mentorship because so many people find it hard to get mentors. Like if you reach out to me now and you ask me to be my mentor, I don't even know how I'm going to answer that question because I'm a very busy person, and getting or finding out time to actually handhold somebody or to guide somebody is something that I don't think I can do. But I have several ways that I do it. So either I make people book one-on-one sessions with me. They're free, so you can just talk with me, or I speak at events like this so that I can answer questions from people that I won't usually do on a normal day. So for me, I think mentorship communities is more easier to go around than mentorship. So if you're here and you have this is a community of women that are doing amazing things in technology space, and there are so many other communities for women. So I would say that ladies should always leverage the power of communities, because in that same community you're going to find people that are as clueless as you're going to find people that are struggling, you're going to find people that are trying to figure out their careers, you're going to find people that are trying to transition from a non-technical background to a technical background. So you're going to find like-minded people that you can connect with. That's the power of communities. And the thing about communities is that if you find somebody that you look up to and the person is in a community, you see that it's more easier to assess the person in that community than assessing the person on like a DM or LinkedIn or emails. It's easier that way. So communities play a crucial role. Communities give you a very solid support system when you're feeling down, when you're feeling depressed. Tech can do a lot of things to you. You have people that are always cheering you on. You have people that are always reminding you why you started. You have people that are going through that same phase as you, so you can relate to their stories. And communities also give you a sense of guidance. You might not really need a mentor to tell you, okay, after HTML, learn CSS, after CSS, learn JavaScript. A community can do that for you. I am so proud of people that host that own communities or are community managers. I respect them a lot because it's not easy to carry all these people along. So you see communities, especially like the what we're doing here now, we're hosting calls, they brought speakers and we're speaking to you all now. So that's what a community can get you. So it's very important for you to infuse the power of communities into your learning. It can skyrocket your learning really quick. And people miss out on the networking aspect of communities. You can find people that are staying in the north, in the south, in the east. You can even find people that have gotten really good jobs and you can reach out to them and ask them questions. So these are the things that I feel people are missing out on. For mentorship, mentorship is a bit tricky because it's very hard to find somebody that can lead you through a journey from start to finish. It's very hard to find someone that can wholeheartedly teach you, that can spend time on you. So if you cannot find mentorship, leverage the power of communities. But if you're able to find a mentor that can lead you, that can do all these things, then go at it. But I would say that before you look for a mentor, have a plan. A mentor is there to talk with you, but you are the one driving most of the conversations. So if you're just saying, "Oh, I like this person is working in this company, I want her to mentor me," and you're reaching out, you don't have a plan, you don't have what you want to gain from the person is clueless, you two, you're clueless, both of you don't have any agenda. Best believe that that person is not going to take you seriously because of that thing. So you have to be very intentional of the person you're asking to be your mentor, and you also have to be intentional on what you want to gain from that mentorship. Other things I tell people is that if you cannot find a direct mentor, leverage indirect mentorship. There are people that I look up to on social media now. They are not my mentors, but I attend the events that they speak at. I buy the books that they write. If they are posting content on YouTube, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, I interact with those content, I read it, and I try to get as much knowledge that I can for them. And if possibly they're hosting a physical event and that person is going to be in attendance, I go there. So indirect mentorship can also be a way that you can gain a lot from somebody. So in the tech ecosystem now, there's this influx of resources. There's so many things to learn. You don't know where to start from. You don't know how to scale. You don't know how to get a job. There's so many communities that are dedicated to helping people. There are so many people as well that are dedicated to helping you. So you just have to be in that space. Give yourself like a surface area to assess these opportunities. And I don't think there's anything that you're going to be missing. So I hope I've answered the question.
Those are really inspiring words. Mentorship, community, they are extremely important. The power of community, it helps you find like minded people. So if you're just looking for where you're looking for, oh, how can I start? Leverage the power of community and mentorship. Okay, my question goes to Ekene. Hi, Ekene. Hi. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. So your journey encompasses diverse roles from machine learning project manager to the founder of Eden Generation Helping Initiative. How do you balance your professional excellence with your impactful social initiatives? What steps can young women take to forge a similar path, balancing their tech careers and their passion for social change?
Okay, I think first of all, I haven't been able to balance. I'm still working on balancing. But one thing I've learned is integration. And I think somehow from learning how to integrate to learn how to balance. Because at the end of the day, there's just so many things you have to do. And I also know that balancing what I do or integrating what I do professionally and also like my social initiatives, it has been a very hard, rewarding challenge because there are days I have cried, I have shed tears. I'm like, why? Like, this is too much. I can't do this. I'm not doing this again. I've had a year when I was like, I wasn't doing so. I have a program that I do every year on Christmas Day, and I had said that, oh, I'm not doing it this year. Like, I wasn't going to do it. But then I have a so again, I'll come to something I wanted to talk about mentorship, sponsorship, and coaching. So I have a coach that called me and was like, what's happening to Christmas Miracle? I'm like, oh, I can't do it this year. I have so many things. And she was like, are you joking? Get it done. uh, so like balancing that or integrating that has been a whole challenge. But what I have
Yeah.
found that has worked is finding a synergy. at what point do they intersect?
Mm.
What is it that my professional life gives me?
Wow.
And what is it that my social initiative gives me? And how can I make sure that in my life, they both function because of what I get out of it? I know you'll be hearing a lot of what I get, but it is so important that I understand purpose and why did I start this in the beginning. So a few things that have helped me is like prioritization. I'm still very bad at time management, but I'm learning. And I wouldn't lie and say, oh, I've mastered how to manage time. I haven't. I still struggle trying to make sure, oh, look, I have this meeting. I have this meeting with Nestle. I need to make sure that I complete this. I have this meeting with this person. There's also this job I need to get done. I'm figuring it out, like I said, as an integration. But what I've also done is just prioritizing and keeping things in bucket. So I know that my social initiatives, there's a time it's usually like crazy during Christmas period. So I tell myself, look, Ekene, once it's starting to get to the end of August, you need to find a way to make sure that you're getting these things done. And then I make a list. I just tell myself, oh, look, this is what I need to do, this is what I need to do. So just boxing and scheduling and allocating. Most times, I will not lie to you. I'm not one of those people that say, oh, you can always get it done exactly how you write it, because it's going to take a lot of self discipline. But what I try to do is I tell myself, look, this has to be done, but understanding the why. And that brings me to the next thing, shared values and vision. And I think I'm one of the lucky people. I don't know everyone has been as lucky or as blessed as I am. And why I'm saying that is because what I do professionally, at the end of the day, shares a common vision with what I do with my social initiatives. Because the company I work for, when I started working at the company, started as like somewhat a social initiative to make sure that women are included in the tech industries, mothers that have babies at home have jobs to do and not just take care of babies. And like that's how we started. We started as a group of 8 women. I think there was just only one man. And the team is over 1,000 now. But what
Wow.
I continue to see is that at the top of the funnel, there's more women. It's like
Mm.
it's almost intentional at my workplace that at the top of the funnel, just making sure that women are included in the process. And these women are working. It's not like they're just putting them. These women are working themselves off to make sure that they earn it and they're where they are. So making sure like there's just shared value and vision with between your professional life and your social impact life. Because again, socially, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get children off the streets and get them back into school. I'm also trying to teach girls tech and all of that. And I work for a company that's doing that. So imagine I tell my boss, oh, like almost everybody at the company I work already knows about Christmas Miracle. Like it's a conversation that happens in the office. People
Yeah.
in my office are asking me, what's happening this year? So just share that, like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, just being in a space, and like I said, I'm a lucky one. Most people don't have that, but just aligning that and making sure at the end of the day they both can align. Also, leverage your skills. So what I've done is that in my role as project manager, there are a lot of things that I have to. There's a lot of planning, organization, strategic planning, leadership, find like operations, stuff like that. And I know that those skills, I need them in my project management life. I've leveraged them for my social impact life also. So at the end of the day, I'm leveraging the skills that I have built because also I think that what people need to learn also is knowing your skills, knowing what it is that you do, celebrating your wins, writing everything that you do and telling yourself, this thing I did it and I know how to do it. And then being able to apply it to every aspect of your life. So if I'm able to make sure that I have the perfect head count for this project, I should be able to apply that skill to actually making sure that the things that I want to give out for my Christmas Miracle program is complete. Do you see? Now, it's not the same thing, but I'm applying the skill and I'm making sure that the skill that I have here, I'm leveraging it for here. Also, I cannot say collaboration and delegation. Ah, Lord. Because if you don't do it, girl, you're gonna burn.
Burn.
And you will, I give. So women, we have a tendency to shoulder it all. Because
Hmm.
even as a mom, you're waking up at 4 a.m., you're making sure your babies have food to eat, you're making sure your husband has food to eat, you're getting your children to school, you're praying for your children. I saw someone on Instagram where a lady said she has to wake up at 3 a.m. to do her devotion so that she can make sure the rest of the family runs. So women naturally have a way to carry things on their shoulder. And I'll also leverage on something that Chisholm had said, building a community around you. As a single woman, as a young girl, as whatever, build your community, know your community, interact with your community, stay with your community because it will help you. Because at the end of the day, when you collaborate and delegate, you find out that your passion is thriving, your life is thriving, and also your job is thriving. Because I can as well tell myself, oh no, for Christmas break, I have to be the one to go to the market to buy the toys. I have to be the one to buy the books for the children. I have to be the one to write the letters. I have to be the one to do this. You can do that. And I can like come in my project manager, oh, I have to make sure that this project is done. We have to send out the SLAs. The KPIs have to be done. I can choose to do that. Or I can decide that, oh, I have this person in my community that knows how to write
Mm-hmm.
letters. Can you help me write a letter? You don't have to shoulder it all. But you can do it all. But you don't have to show it all. That a social impact initiative can actually happen. It just doesn't have to burn you. Figure out who are the people that you have around and leverage. Now, don't use people because that's another conversation on its own. But leverage the people that you have around you. If I have a friend that does marketing, I'm going to message the person. I'm trying to get this thing out. I don't know what to do. Please help me. So leverage that, delegate. Last but not the least, self care. Girl, I cannot say that enough. Your skin needs to thrive, your body needs to thrive, your back,
It should not
your
pain
back
you.
needs to function. Take care of
Mm.
yourself. I try to preach that. I don't leave the best of it. I can be horrible at it. But I was talking to someone recently. I said that as little as a perfume, before you enter the elevator, like spray. That smell nice. Let somebody the perfume tell you, hello, how are you? I say, fine. I have this, I have that. This is what I do. This is my business. This is what I do. Like, take care of yourself. Prioritize your energy. Because at the end of the day, if you burn out, if your back burns, guess what's going to happen? That social impact initiative that you want to do, it's not going to happen. That job, it's not going to happen. You're going to be in the hospital bed or you're going to be somewhere carrying yourself. And those things will not happen. So your back needs to be alive. You need to be able to function to get this done. So if I'm going to advise anybody, I'm just going to say, first of all, know what it is that you want to do. What's the passion? What's the initiative you want to do? Define it. Set it clear to yourself that this is what it is. And make sure that somehow one way or the other. Because most people say, oh, there's no way to align. If you look deep enough, there's an alignment somewhere. You just haven't found it. Define it, align it. Start small. I know there's a temptation. They say, go big or go home, girl. Yes, go big or go home. But with social initiatives, it can be heavy. It can be, I've had my NGO for 6 years. And like I told you, I've had days when I'm like, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah.
I've had days where I wrote to my boss in the office. I said, Fumi, today I'm not working. Liz, today I don't want to, I'm burnt out. I'm tired. So if you don't learn how to just manage and start small, like I know you want to get to 10,000 children, but please find eight first. Because you start with 10,000. Imagine like Hugo has a this thing to get to 10,000, but we started at eight people. Started at even one person. Start somewhere. Don't wait till you can get to 10,000 people. Network and learn. So again, I think Chisom said something that was very interesting. Not everybody has time to mentor you physically. And so what I tell people now is get mentored by learning. Be in the same space with the person that you want to mentor you. Look for events they are doing, be there and learn from them. How they walk, how they talk, how they do everything. Learn, network, be in that space. Find people who share your passion, learn about their experiences. Because at the end of the day, it will open doors for you for collaboration and you find ways to get things done. Balance, adapt, because again, flexibility is key. You need to be flexible. One day something is not going to work. Do you want to stay there and kill yourself over it, or do you want to move and find things and get them done? As anything. But one thing I'll say, and I cannot say it well, there's I think it's trying to remember, I think it's Pastor Nomthi Odukoya that used to say, enjoy yourself. Celebrate your milestones. For every time you are able to teach one person, I don't know, whatever it is that your social impact plan is. If the plan is to feed 10,000 children, if you feed one, celebrate it. It's big, it's massive. Because not every other person is able to do that. In your job, if you write an email, tell yourself, you wrote this email, I'm proud of you, girl. Go, girl. Do that for yourself. Celebrate every milestone, celebrate everything, recognize yourself. Because if you don't, no other person is going to keep you motivated to do all of these plenty things you need to do. You motivate yourself. So once in a while, stay and clap in your room, just clap for yourself and beat yourself on chest and say, I did this.
I did
And
that.
come out and continue. Celebrate
Wow.
every win, every milestone.
Wow.
Balancing it is going to require a lot of like dedication, perseverance, and you're just going to some days cry. You are going to cry. But if you find a way to get it done, you just notice that you're creating a very unique and impactful journey, and you will make a difference in the lives of other people, even to the people that you don't know. But get it done, girl.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ikini. I learned so much from what you just spoke about right now. Those were incredibly, incredibly impactful words. Okay, so our final question goes to Pearl. Our final question goes to Pearl. So it's similar to what we just spoke about with Ikini. So collaboration and networking can be pivotal for startups and professionals alike. How have you utilized your networks and connections to not only enhance Launch Code's marketing efforts, but also to contribute to the growth of women's representation in tech and startups?
So I think Chisom and Ekene talked a lot about the right way to collaborate and um, for collaboration in my experience. So I'm a bit more introverted, and by nature, it doesn't come easy like one-on-one interactions. But what I've found, and maybe there's someone listening who is like, but I'm a bit shy or whatever. But what I've found that helps me is, I think someone said shyness is a mindset. And I feel one thing that has helped me to grow is to do it afraid, right? Um, do it afraid, and you don't need to go from zero to like 100, but step out of your comfort zone a little bit every day. That is one thing that has helped me. And I think online communities and Chisom talked a lot about communities. I couldn't agree more, and Ekene as well. Online communities are powerful, and one thing I like about it, especially for me and maybe someone else who's a bit like more introverted, is online communities give you space to meet people and form relationships so that when you do meet them face to face, it's like you've known them all along, right? And so I think that's one thing that has been most impactful. But I think just do it afraid. Like, don't be afraid to step out. Like, yeah, you may feel, don't be afraid to, nobody's going to give you, again, like we've been talking about it as women, nobody's going to give you like permission, like, okay, now we want you. Like, you just have to, you need to understand this is where I want to go, and these are the things that are going to get me there. And community and collaboration is something that you cannot do without. It is a must to achieve anything in life. You need people. We all need people. And so, leveraging on our communities, go to events, but being able to build relationship with people, however that works for you, whether it's like, okay, I like meeting people one on one, and then build that network little by little. Utilize social media, connect with people, say, oh, I love what you're doing. Don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to take that step out. Don't be afraid to, if you usually would not send a message and send two, and then send 10, and then send 20. If you usually would not say hi to one person, and then say hi to two, and then say hi to 10. And focus on building relationships. I agree that that is one of the most valuable skills that you can have. So, yeah, I think in my experience, just do it afraid, get out there and do it. And another thing I feel like women need to know more of is nobody brings what you can bring to the table. We are all different individuals, and there's a particular um, element, there's a particular value that you bring to the table, and withholding that just withholds that value that can impact someone else. And when we are able to step out and stand out and collaborate and build continuity and build our value, we unconsciously give other people the permission to do the same. And in our case, we allow there, like we talked about, there are not enough women who do this. There are not enough women in this space, and there are not enough women who are confident. And so when we step out and do things that we usually wouldn't do, we go out of our comfort zone, and other people see us, we give them permission to do the same. So yeah.
Zone, and don't be afraid to reach out. That's actually very for the people that are more introverted. Just teach yourself how to connect, basically. Okay, so the insights you guys have shared during this interactive session are both enlightening and thought provoking. We've covered a range of topics from the potential of emerging technologies to the role of ethics in tech innovation. Your expertise is invaluable, and we're so grateful that you guys took your time to come here, and we're so grateful for your contributions. Thank you so much to all our speakers. Okay, so now we are having an audience question and answer session. So I have a question here from Elaine, and she says, are there other ways to network aside from going to events? Who wants to answer the question? Pearl, why don't you give us an answer?
I think first of all, you need to know why do you want to network? What do you want to network for? What is the goal, right? It's not because we say network, you want to network. So basically, what is it that you are doing and what do you think, okay, I need to network? Okay, I just want to be with other women. All right, then find communities of women. Like I think we've said it that apart from events, going to events, communities are great, social media, and then actual communities. But I think it's important to online communities are great, and that's just like a straightforward answer. But to determine like what is the best community for me to join and where can I find community, where should I find this community? You need to know what is the purpose. What do I want to achieve with my networking? I just want to make more friends, or I want to learn more about tech. I want to like it's a professional thing, or it depends. So I hope that clarifies. But online communities are great.
So I have one more question from Stephanie, and I would like to direct this question to Ekini. So Stephanie asks, what are some tips for time management? Just whatever you have for us. Yes, of course. Of course, I can hear
Putting me on the spot because again, I said it that even my time management skills are horrible.
you.
But so I have this thing that I started. I started like alarms, and they can be very irritating, but I know that they're a good way to start.
Yeah.
It's very funny because if you're around me, I even have an alarm for drink water. Yes, I have because again, I can get so involved in my work that I forget to eat, forget to drink water.
Mm.
forget my meds. So I have alarms for take med now, drink water now, attend this call now. If you see my calendar looks like a bus stop because I'm adding tasks that I need to complete so that I don't procrastinate. So I do alarms. I set up my calendar. I've not been so great at following a to-do list, but I also see that to-do list work. But the to-do list that work for me is I write. Previously, I used to type it on my laptop or have it on my phone. But then again, sometimes I can get so engrossed in my work that I might not even know where my phone is. So you might call me and I don't know where my phone is. But what I see that is because I always have a notepad beside me. I look at them like, oh, it's something I should have done. So find what works for you. What is it that you don't do without me? I know I can do without my phone. So I never set up anything on my phone because sometimes I'm in my workspace and my phone is somewhere else. So I set these alarms on my laptop. I put it on my laptop. I also write down what I need to do. But you just have to be intentional. I think intentionality is something that is very important. Stay intentional. Tell yourself, like, look, I need to get this done. And here is the why. Because if you understand your why, every other thing will align. So to keep good time management skills, understand why you need to do it. Stay intentional.
Yeah.
Alarms, right? Whatever it is that works.
Thank you so much, Ikini. That was good advice. Okay, so we are slowly coming to the end of Tech Talks by Her. Thank you for actively engaging with our esteemed speakers through these thoughtful questions, Stephanie and Elaine. So, we extend our heartfelt appreciation to our speakers for generously sharing their knowledge and invaluable experiences. As we draw the curtains on this event, let's remember that the realm of technology is open and welcoming to all, transcending backgrounds and genders. Together, we can shatter boundaries and ignite innovation, collectively shaping a brighter future for the country. So, but this is not the conclusion of our journey. It's a continuation. This is just the beginning. Stay connected with us on our vibrant social media platforms at Young Women Code on Twitter and Instagram for a steady stream of insights, updates, and captivating content. As we wrap up the enlightening discussions of Tech Talks by Her, let's carry forward the inspiration from today, all the things we've learned, fueling our determination to mold the tech landscape. A heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you who joined us in enriching experiences today. On behalf of Young Women Code and our distinguished speakers and our dedicated team, we say thank you so much. Thank you all for being an integral part of the success of Tech Talks by Her. Look forward to crossing paths in the tech realm where innovation and empowerment continue to flourish. Thank you, our sponsors. You guys made this possible. Thank you so much, Chisom, Ekene, and Pearl. Bye.